Stop spending all your money on streetwear.
What is good, everybody? $50,000 for the shoes.
That day, gentlemen. It's Supreme Week One. It's that time to blow your money.
I could not help myself. Had to grab the paper cover. They actually had it for a great price.
So these go for money. These go for money. These go for money. This shoe will be $1,000 one day.
Due to the fact that I am Lil Uzi, yes, the GOAT, I have everything.
Stop spending all your money on streetwear. The YouTubers you're watching are spending thousands of dollars on clothes, but they're able to do this because they're rich. These guys are celebrities, they're influencers. They literally make their money by buying these clothes. If average guys like you and me try to do this, we'll be broke. Now, dressing like a celebrity is not impossible, but if you do it the wrong way, it's gonna cost you a butt ton of money. Now, I present a problem, but I also have a solution. And the solution is a red box with white letters on the inside. And no, if you said Supreme, you are wrong, you're part of the problem. The answer is Value Village. Now, if your initial reaction to me saying Value Village is, broke boy, you're kind of right. But I would argue a better word would be frugal boy. At the end of the day, your fashion comes down to what you look like, not what the brands you're wearing are. So Value Village is the perfect excuse for us to get away with this similar streetwear look at a much, much lower cost. Now, saving money isn't the only reason to thrift for clothes. I'm gonna go over the top 3 reasons why you should thrift, especially if you're into streetwear. And I'm gonna be going over 2 outfits that are very easy to replicate through items you can pretty much find at the thrift store almost every single time you go. So let's get into it. Number 1, I already said it, Thriftings Cheap. So those of you that shout out broke boy when I mentioned thrifting, you're not wrong, but the thing is, thrifting doesn't mean you can't have expensive pieces in your closet. If you're thrifting items like tees, jackets, jeans, you can put that money you save from buying those items used towards a pair of really nice sneakers. And in my opinion, the best thing to save your money towards is things that you can't really find at the thrift store. And that's why I mentioned shoes. It is very hard to find nice shoes at the thrift, whereas shirts, jackets, and well, pants can be a bit tricky, but especially shirts and jackets, you can find an abundant amount of high quality vintage stuff. So the money that we save buying these items, we can put towards buying some heater shoes, or really whatever you want. Thrifting, at the end of the day, will save you money. Number 2, and this is probably my absolute favorite and main reason for thrifting. Thrifting allows you to be unique. Oftentimes in your thrifting, you find items that nobody else has. And sometimes you find things that you hope nobody else has. You see, with expensive brands, there is a facade that it's unique to dress expensive. But the only reason it's unique is because there's a paywall blocking everybody from dressing that way. So that's not really unique. That's just being expensive. When you're thrifting, you can find items from decades ago that potentially no one has, except somebody's great-great-grandpa. So fashion for you is truly about being unique and standing out in front of a crowd. Thrifting's perfect. Number 3. Now, number 3 is probably the main reason why thrifting works so well for streetwear. And although streetwear is a very broad category, I would say that it really sets its roots in the baggy tops and slightly baggy bottoms. And I was watching an interview with Virgil Abloh where he was talking about how streetwear really takes its roots in 90s skateboard culture. Now, if we look at what those guys were wearing back in the 90s, we're seeing very baggy tops and very straight fit or even baggy pants. And these are exactly what you find at the thrift store. You could find boxy tops everywhere. Sometimes the jeans you find at the thrift store are a bit too baggy, but you can often find pretty good jeans there as well. So if these expensive brands are mimicking this 90s skateboard fashion, why not just go to the source? The thrift store is filled with 90s stuff that really has the exact same look as these high-end brands. And all these high-end brands are putting on this faded kind of distressed look with their clothing. Get the real thing, you know? Get sun damage from the thrift store, get distressing from the thrift store. And sometimes you find stuff that is just looks like it was somebody's washcloth, but hey, you can often find really good stuff there as well. You just gotta do a little bit of digging. So if you want the same look at these high-end brands, go to the thrift. You'll get a better price, you'll get a truly unique piece, and you'll get the exact same look. So I've told you why to thrift. Now I'm gonna go into how to thrift. So I'm gonna be going over 2 outfits that you can pretty much find every single time you go to the thrift store. Now that being said, there are some days, even for an experienced thrifter, where they go and they find absolutely doo-doo caca, like absolute poop. And that happens to everybody. But the thing with thrifting is you really gotta be persistent. Just keep going, keep plugging away, and eventually you'll find something. So let's get into outfit number 1. So outfit number 1, I'm gonna call the clean and casual look. So for me personally, when I think of streetwear, I think of a baggy t-shirt and straight fit denim. And I really went over this look in a previous video of mine, which I'll link up top here. Feel free to check that out. The tricky part with this outfit can often be the t-shirt. So I've gone over previously saying that t-shirts, you can find them all the time at the thrift store. But sometimes it takes a while to find a really good one. Now when I say thrifted tee, a lot of people automatically think, ooh, vintage band tee. And that's a great look. The only thing is that's become such a popular look that they're almost impossible to find at the thrift. Now even if you can't find a vintage band tee, there are still tons of good options at the thrift. Even if it doesn't have a graphic, you can find boxy tees everywhere. Now what it'll come down to is finding a color you like, or even if you find a graphic that you like. And another thing with these older tees is a lot of them have an embroidery on them, which is a really cool look and really again adds to that uniqueness of the piece. Now finding a great t-shirt for this look can take a little bit of time, but don't be afraid to stick to the basics, as the basics at the thrift are readily available. Now in my opinion, the denim portion of this outfit is the easier part to fill. Nobody really wants to try on used pants at the thrift. And if you're like me, whose thrift store got rid of their change rooms during COVID, there's not really even an opportunity to try them on. But the thing is, these 90s straight fit denim are everywhere in the thrift, and it's very much an untapped resource. So if you're willing to, invest a little bit of money, and the thing is, these pants aren't that expensive. Bring them home, try them on, and maybe your thrift store has a return policy. Sometimes that return policy is just in-store credit, but hey, you can put that towards another pair of pants, so it's not really a loss. Another tip for denim, I'd say, is look for familiar brands. Oftentimes, you don't see too many brands that you recognize, but one that I see more often than not is Levi's. So if you have your favorite size, favorite cut, look for that, because you'll know it'll fit you perfectly. And if you put these two simple pieces of straight fit denim, baggy tee, you'll get a nice clean streetwear look. And the nice thing with this look is it really acts as a good blank canvas. You can add accessories, jewelry, hats to it, and really make this simple look your own. So outfit number 2, I'm gonna call this look the athleisure look, because it's an athleisure look. It's simple as that.
No.
One of the main untapped resources in the thrift store is the track pants section. And I don't know if this is just because we know that somebody sweated their nuts off in them before, or just because it's a wall of black pants. But with my experience, no one really looks at the track pants, which is a shame because you can find some really sick vintage track pants in there. So for styling, if you find a really nice pair of black track pants, that gives you a lot of opportunity to experiment with the upper portion of your outfit. So with a nice solid black pants, you can really go crazy on the top. You can introduce colors, graphics, keep the tee baggy and boxy, but with the nice plain bottoms, you can really have a bit of fun in the top. And vice versa, as you can often find these really cool vintage 80s, 90s colorful track pants. If you're really going loud at the bottoms, maybe keep it a bit more mellow up on the top. So that might be an opportunity to have like a black tee, black and boxy, or really just any neutral color that pairs well with whatever color your pants are. A cool way to make this look your own is throw a fanny pack in there. Fanny packs look great with the athleisure look, as oftentimes the fanny pack is made of the same material as the track pants. And if you're going for the black bottoms, I'd say get a black fanny pack, as that looks quite clean. Or really, if you're going for a full black look, if you do black pants, black top, maybe get a nice accent color for the fanny pack. It's a good way to really make the look pop. And there you go. That is 3 reasons why you should thrift, and 2 very easily replicatable outfits that'll give you a head start in your thrifting journey. In my opinion, Even if money is not an issue, thrifting gives you the perfect opportunity to be unique with your outfits. It takes a lot of time to find really good items, but it's very rewarding when you do.
Wow. That's a big diamond.
So with those tips and those outfits, go to your local thrift store, put together an outfit, and if you do end up posting it anywhere, tag me in it. I'd love to see it. So with that, if you could like, comment, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though.